Hey, Olympia Heights. Today I want to talk about the home selling process. Some of you have purchased a home 20 years ago, and the process is basically the same. There's a couple of things that are different, and on the selling side, there's a couple other points. So that's why I want to talk today about the home selling process. So the first step is to position your home as the number one choice in the market. And this is because it's going to drive you the most amount of offers, which ultimately they're going to bid up, and price and terms will come to your benefit. So we want to determine a pricing strategy and a marketing strategy that'll work for your home. In the beginning, the seller's responsibility is to position yourself. Now, once we get that, right, we know what we're going to do. We need to prepare the home for the MLS, whether that means decluttering areas, hiring a photographer, installing the sign, doing some Facebook marketing, flyers, door knocking, all that stuff that happens before. So once the home is prepared, we're going to put it for sale, whether you're going to do it for yourself, whether you're going to do it through an agent, and we're going to schedule showings. Showings, you want to know if there's an agent, if you're going to use a lockbox, make restrictions abundantly clear, and make sure that people know it's owner occupied, do not disturb. So that way, if not, you're going to be getting a bunch of people just coming and looking in. Once we get those showings, eventually you're going to be getting offers, right? And what I recommend and what I always do is I put in the remarks what it is that you're looking for. So if you need to stay in the property for a certain amount of time after closing, you put that in there so that way you can get the offers up front with the terms that you want. You can always amend it later. It just becomes a little bit more of a hassle. If you do it up front, it's easier. Okay, so you have an offer, you're accepting it, your attorney says you're good to go with this one. They need to deposit earnest money to a third party. So usually it goes to your title company if they have an escrow account for that. And what you will do is you'll receive a letter. You'll receive a letter saying, I affirm that this was deposited. This should typically be the whole entire earnest money, about 2% of the purchase price, just so you are aware. And it can be done in different chunks. After the earnest money, there's 3 big areas that we can renegotiate, or we might be renegotiated with. The first one's the inspection. The inspection is to make sure that the offer that they're putting in is for the home that they thought they were putting an offer for. So the inspection is the first big area. The buyer will pay for the inspector to come by, make sure that the home is good, and they pay them really for a report. So they are looking for anything that they can to give them. Now, appraisal happens after that. So you have the inspection and then the appraisal. Appraisal is to justify the value of your home. So if you list your property for $3 million, but it's really worth $500,000, the bank's not going to lend on it. It just wouldn't make sense, especially if the buyers default. So that's the easiest way to describe an appraisal. Once that happens, they go through a loan approval, right? So we go through the inspection, we go through the appraisal, and then now we need to make sure the financing is good. So the buyers will be submitting their documents. They'll be asking certain insurance requirements and all this stuff. And it's a pretty straightforward process as long as the buyers don't go ahead and make a lot of adjustments or moving stuff. So as long as the buyers are consistent and they're informed of the process, there shouldn't be an issue. And then you can choose the day that you're going to close. And this can be remote, this can be in person, and make sure that you're just prepared. So that way, we can get this thing closed and you can move on with your life. So I hope that this video helps you kind of explore the process, so that way you can decide what to do when it comes time for you to sell your most important asset.